You're listening to That Home Loan Hub. I'm Zibuni Solimova, here to make home loans and property investing simple, smart and stress-free. Let's get you closer to your property dreams. If you're a first-home buyer, this is the episode for you. Listen up. We've had an avalanche of clients recently. I think people are feeling positive. The house prices have flattened out a little bit. Actually, slight drop in Wellington, slight drop in Auckland, slight increase in Dunedin.
Okay.
And Queenstown.
Oh, yeah.
The latest data that I've read this morning. So, but it is giving a bit of positivity to our clients. They're thinking this is the time to buy. The interest rates are still a little bit okay. So that brings us to the application process of when we first meet them and when we ask for all the documents. Take it away, Kunch.
Yeah. So when we first meet you, we have that, discovery conversation and find out about your goals and what you want and things like that. At that time as well, we may do the application on the spot, but if you're quite savvy and tech savvy, we'll send you a link to do it. And that link basically asks you to fill in, your full name, your date of birth, everything in that sense, your job, how long you've been there, or, where you live and how long you've lived there, sort of thing. So quite, the normal basic forms that you would fill out for any type of lending application or any sort of application that you like, even applying, to enroll your child into a school or something like that. So generally that's what we ask for. But what I have found is that what to provide us. So when we ask for bank statements, we ask for the most 3 months bank statement. So it's basically as of today and 3 months back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But what we have found also is that some banks will only the statements to, a certain date, and then it doesn't cover the month yet because obviously the statements haven't been statemented. So we do ask sometimes for a transactional printout as well because some lenders are particular and they do want that type of statement.
Latest stuff, because what they're looking for is one of the C's that we've covered before is the character. They want to see that you've been good with your accounts, that you haven't been abusing by going into overdrafts and spending money you don't have. So potentially you could have the 3 months amazing statements, but the transaction over the last 2 weeks could have been shocking. So in order for the lender to tick it off, they need to see the last 3 months. So this is why we ask. We don't ask because we want to go through and have a look what you've been spending money on too much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of our job as well. We do scan through to see what you've been spending on, but we're not going to be anal about it. We're not going to ask you about the $8 per month on what you spend on. Crunch had a recent question from the bank where the clients were spending something $8 a month on.
$8 a month. I'm like, that's like less than my coffee a day.
Yeah. So sometimes we do get those questions, but again, the bank is not asking to be anal. It's just every dollar that they put into the expenses, they have to allocate it to a certain category. So if it's a category under entertainment, they just need to know where to put that $8 into. Yeah. If it's under certain bills that are ongoing, they will just put it there. Yeah. So they're not asking to be anal, and we're not asking you to be anal.
Yeah, and most of it is discretionary spend. Yeah. So just want to reiterate, because I know the clients I have met do stress out a little bit in terms of, don't look at my accounts because I've spent so much on food or takeaways and things like that. Those are all discretionary spending that can be, reduced once you get a loan and things like that. So I wouldn't stress too much about it in terms of that, but there are, particular transactions that the banks will like to understand a bit more, and one being if there are transactions to online gambling or something like that, we will need to understand that a wee bit more, and we will ask questions about that.
And sometimes we catch things that you might have forgotten to include in your application. Like sometimes people forget things like GEM Visa payments or some sort of personal loan that they're paying because it's only $50 a month. They completely forgot about it. But it will be visible on your statements. So we will come back to you and we will ask you, hey, what is this about?
Yeah.
And even if you paid off something, but it's still on your statement, we need to know.
Yes, and that's what leads to us requesting for more statements. So it might seem like, oh my God, you want my blood, but it's actually because of the fact that we've scanned through your statements, we've seen, what your payments are, So your liabilities that we see, which is your personal loans, your credit cards, and your buy now, pay laters. So those are the afterpays, the zip pays and things. So we would need evidence of that as well.
Yep. And the other thing I also want to remind people of is that never is a bad time to apply. Often we hear around December, January as, I don't want to apply now because my statements look awful because of all the Christmas spending.
Yeah.
They might have been going away on holiday. They might be, having visitors at home that they were entertaining a little bit extra by buying more alcohol, more food, more drinks, more takeouts. So don't worry about that.
Yeah.
This is seasonal.
Correct.
This is not going to be ongoing. Like if you spend $3,000 that month on groceries, we're not going to put that as an expense ongoing.
Correct.
Yeah. Awesome. So we've covered the statements. The other thing that we've also come across a lot is under Kayanga Ora first home buyers policy package that we have, there are a few extra documents that we need.
Yeah, they do require a wee bit more information to process and assess an application through.
One of the things we need to do is to provide evidence that you are actually a New Zealand resident or New Zealand citizen. So we might ask for birth certificate or passport. If you don't have a passport, then, it's a birth certificate usually. For those that are immigrants to New Zealand, we may need the New Zealand permanent residency sticker. So it's just these things to verify that you are eligible under this program. And then the other bit that the Kayanga Ora might require is IRD, summary of earnings.
Yeah.
So they look back the exact 12 months of earnings because under their program, you have to be under a cap of income.
Yeah, income cap. Yeah.
So if you're an individual, it's 95,000, and if you're a couple, it's 150,000. Or you could be an individual with a dependent. So let's say Mr. is working and Mrs. isn't. So she's now dependent. That's 150. Or a solo mum with a child. That's dependent.
Solo dad
dad was a child. I was trying to cover all my bases there quietly. 150K is a cap.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind as well of why we're asking for that information.
And that's why they ask for that 12 months, because they want to check whether you fit into that cap. And then also, although we will ask for your pay slips, we will need a letter from your employer as well.
Yes, to confirm that you're actually still employed and working there. because who knows?
You still had the latest pay slip and latest pay going into your bank account, but they just need the extra reassurance.
Yeah.
This is government thing. Government's also, like reassurance.
But it's also the tenure. What's the word? How long you work there. Because under Kayanga Ora rules, you actually have to be in the same employment for at least 12 months. And if you're self-employed, you have to be 2 years. So it's funny, they can't see us showing fingers on the podcast, but the ones on video can. Love that. Cool. And the other thing we would normally ask for if you changed names. So if you got married or if you got divorced and you changed your name, but your passport still hasn't reflected that, or you got new document and the other statements don't match that. So, we do need to draw a link. And sometimes people go, why do I need to show you that?
Need the linking documents for it all?
We need to show that Natasha Smith is also Natasha Jones and also Natasha something. So, we got to show this thing.
Yeah.
We can't be mind readers. We're not psychic. So the bank is also not psychic.
Yeah.
And for Anti-Money Laundering Rules Act, we do need to comply with that. So again, we're not being noisy into who you married and why and when you're divorced.
Yeah, it's just evidence basically. So like everything when it comes to borrowing money is just being able to evidence what you've put down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you've said has to be backed up with the evidence.
Yep. Correct. Awesome. Anything else? I think we've done well. The one thing we did not mention yet is the deposit. So again, evidence of the deposit, whether it's KiwiSaver, we need the withdrawal from the KiwiSaver. If you're doing second chance first home buyer and you need to withdraw KiwiSaver, you need 2 letters. You need one as an approval that you can withdraw that KiwiSaver as a second chance, and then your KiwiSaver withdrawal. We will also need your bank statements for the savings, and we'll also need gift certificates if anyone's gifting you any money. So there's a lot of information together.
And I guess going back to whatever you put down, we need to just evidence it. Yeah.
Yep. So, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be putting down things because we will see it anyway. We will find
that's why it's like we need the evidence, right? Just to make sure it is truthful and that there's a back, this is evidencing what your income sort
Yep.
of thing, evidencing how long you've been at that job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome. Conch, thank you so much for dropping by.
Thank you. Bye.
Until next time. And that's a wrap on That Home Loan Hub. Don't forget to hit subscribe and join me next time for more property tips and tricks. Your next smart move starts here.